this video, I'm going to be sharing with you that of Starseeds and ADHD or ADD. I'm going to be showing you the truth that no one tells you and what you can do about it. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you that of understanding Starseeds and ADD or ADHD. Now in general, when we look at this, ADD, ADHD has to do with a type of attention deficit disorder, and it has to do with understanding that a lot of the kids nowadays being born into this reality, because we are all multidimensional beings, we exist at higher levels of consciousness. We forget that when we come and have an earth experience. However, many of the kids being born today and that have been born over the last 30 years have come and had more of their DNA activated. They have more ability for them to connect to the different aspects of the way their mind works and the way that they think. And because of that, there are certain side effects of what happens with that in our reality. Now, the reason I'm sharing this video is because a lot of people that have ADD or ADHD may judge themselves. They may think that there's something wrong with them. That was me for years, because when I was working before my spiritual awakening in 2012, I identified very strongly with having ADHD. I would go into work every day. It was hard for me to focus. I worked at that time I worked at Nordstrom's in women's shoes. And I'd go into work every day and I'd have to focus on helping customers because it was a commission-based job, but I found it very hard to focus. And it was hard for me to, I'd go into the back stock room sometimes, I'd forget what kind of shoes they wanted to try on. I had a lot of energy that was ungrounded, unbalanced, so sometimes people would actually even judge me and think that there was something wrong with me. There was a point when I've always had a lot of energy, and that energy just sometimes wasn't always balanced, so it wasn't always grounded. I remember even one time at Nordstrom's, trying to debate if I want to share this. When I was at Nordstrom's, I was working in a certain department. One of the managers there was talking to other managers. I found this out because I had a friend in a different department that was a manager. And she was like the assistant manager. She was telling other managers that she thought that I was on coke, which is like a drug. I wasn't at all, didn't do anything. However, that to me was something that really kind of hurt me, because I'm like, oh, somebody's spreading rumors about me as if I did that. I've never done that in my life. And I remember what I did was I sat down that assistant manager and I told her, I was like, listen, I know that you told all the other managers this, but either I go up to HR or you tell all those managers that it's not true. And she ended up telling I'll tell all the managers it wasn't true. And then she wanted me out of the department, so she helped get me promoted to a better department because she, I think, felt threatened for me being in that department. It actually ended up working out very well. However, I felt like there was something wrong with me because there were people that were saying these things about me, and I always felt kind of guilty for having, kind of being more scattered but having a lot of energy. And for years I identified with that, and then what happened is eventually I learned that of meditation. This is in 2012. I went through my spiritual awakening. For that, I learned how to observe my thoughts. Observe thoughts as they come in. I realized that I just had a lot of energy, and I learned how to observe my thoughts, and that was the game changer. 2 or 3 days into meditation, I didn't get a crazy epiphany, nothing insane happened where I was like, oh, spiritual enlightenment, my third eye just opened and everything cracked open. It wasn't necessarily like that. However, what did happen is I sat there and I was like, okay, first off, I was like, I don't want to think negative thoughts, because I learned about the law of attraction shortly before that. I was like, thinking negative thoughts, I'm going to manifest more negative things happening. So instead what I did, I was like, you know what? I'm going to observe my thoughts. Not try to control them. Just they come in, observe them, let them be there, and then watch them leave. I allowed the thoughts to be there. And by allowing and observing them, everything began to change from then on out. I remember it was also like the 3rd day I sat down. I thought to myself, I was like, okay, my life's going to forever change from this experience of learning meditation. I just decided that. I don't know what it was an intuitional thing. I decided that my life was going to be forever changed. I sat down, observed my thoughts, and that's when my life really began to change. It was like a choice, a decision, but an allowance at the same time. Then I became aware of how my beliefs were creating my reality. I became aware that I had this belief that I had ADHD or ADD because I was told that by a doctor. I was given something called Adderall, which is the prescription drug that they give people that have ADD or ADHD. And Adderall helps people to focus while they're on it. I would take it every day going to Nordstrom's, and I would go to work and I would take this Adderall. And then I'd be able to really focus. I'd be helping customers and make so much money. But what Adderall does is it helps you release dopamine, which helps you focus, but then you crash on it. And you'll find that it's hard to sleep and it's hard to eat. Harsh side effects. That's what propelled me to learn meditation. Because I was like, there's got to be something else that doesn't have such harsh side effects. So I came across that of meditation. That's when my life really began to change. But I started to observe my thoughts. The thoughts of understanding that my beliefs, believing there was something wrong with me with ADHD, is what was causing me to only look into the belief system of the doctor that had to tell me what to do, the pharmaceutical that I thought was the cure. But what I realized is that belief itself was overlaying it, and what I decided to do was just to reframe it. Instead, I saw myself as having a lot of energy. Having a lot of energy, I had to ground it. So instead what I would do is I'd go outside, I would ground myself in grass. And I would allow the energy to flow through, and I would meditate every day. After meditation started to change my life, I would do it every day, and I meditated in the morning and at night, and my life began to change from that point going on forward. So what this involved me coming more at my core and understanding that I had the ability to reframe it. Now, shortly after that, I started to understand more about starseeds. Now, here's the thing about starseeds. Every single person on the planet, and especially if you're watching this video right now, you are a starseed, meaning you have a connection to the stars. You have a connection to higher states of consciousness, whether you're aware of it or not. And we are multidimensional beings. When we come to Earth, we forget who we are. We go through a veil of forgetfulness. We come into this 3D avatar body that experiences reality through the 5 senses. We emphasize these senses, and we go through and get immersed in the experience, so much so that we forget that we are this eternal spiritual beings. And what's happening right now on the planet is more and more people are waking up to who they are, and part of this has to do with our starseed origins. Who and how we are connected as starseeds. Every single person on the planet is a starseed. The ones waking up now are the ones that are meant to wake up now to help wake up other people. By them being themselves, not necessarily by going out and like hammering in these ideas, be like, you're a starseed, bro. Hey, just wake up. It's more so just like, just wake up. I'm awake. I like walking around. I like having fun in this reality. I view it as a form of dream. Therefore, I'm able to have more flexibility with it. And it's not so serious, and that leads by example. However, being a starseed is about being aware of your connection to the stars, to different reality systems that are higher dimensional in nature. If you connect to your, many people on the planet. I recently went to a Bashar seminar. If you guys don't know Bashar, his name's Daryl Anka. He's been channeling Bashar for like 30 years. Victor, Lior, I, and Patty, Victor's wife, we all went to the Bashar event. And we all put in our names. Lior, Victor, and I put in our names, and we all got called to ask questions within the first half of the seminar. It was really cool. There was like 100 people there, and only like 15, 20 people get called, and all 3 of us got called. And it was really cool, so we got to ask questions. So a lot of that had to do with understanding starseeds, our connection to the stars, understanding who we are at a greater level. And one of the things Bashar said is he said many people on the planet have a connection, because I asked this question, have a connections to Sirius, Pleiades, Arcturus, Andromedan. These are all very common connections that we have. And we all have connections in that way. And that in being a lot of these are higher dimensional connections as well. When we look at the Pleiades, it's a higher dimensional connection than just here. Doesn't mean it's better. It's not about being better or worse, but it is higher vibrational. You could say some of these versions of us that we connect to are the future versions of us. Versions of us in different realities. And we're connecting to them now because now is the most transformative time to be on the planet ever before. And what's happening is people being born now and people in the last 20, 30 years that have, especially having ADHD or ADD, is a side effect of the DNA being activated and a side effect of the mind working at a different capacity. Why is it that a lot of kids going to schools aren't able to focus? One of the reasons is because some of the things you learn in school aren't that exciting. These kids come here to make profound change on the planet, and they're so highly gifted with their minds, but they're meant and put into these boxes of they need to focus on this, this, and this. And these little things are like, why do I need to focus on that? And it's hard for them to focus because they're not passionate about it. And it's not delivered in a way that they can really absorb and embrace and immerse themselves in. So me, for example, it was also hard for me to focus in school. And I wasn't that interested in it. However, now that I'm able to channel my energy and know what I love to do, it's so easy for me. It's, are we passionate about what we are doing? So the phenomenon when it comes to ADHD and ADD with starseeds is that the people being born are operating at a certain frequency that many times gets mislabeled or misjudged. Then we judge ourselves and we think there's something wrong with us, and we medicate ourselves with ADD or with Adderall or Ritalin or whatever they give out for it. However, many times it just has to do with, are we passionate about what we are doing? And are we grounding it in a powerful way? If you have ADD or ADHD, don't beat yourself up. Know that you can start to let go of the label. You can start to redefine it. You can go out and ground yourself. That's what I did. I ground myself every day. I walk on grass or I meditate. Meditation will help you to ground your energy. There's nothing wrong with you. And if you have kids or you know people that have ADD, start to understand them in a new way. Don't label them and put them into a little box. Understand that they just operate differently because their purpose in life is high vibrational in nature to help other people. And sometimes that gets misinterpreted. And we're all high vibrational beings. So like if you don't have ADHD, you need to feel like, you know, if you don't have a lot of energy, then you got to feel like there's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with anyone. There's just different ways that we embody our energy. And there's a negative connotation around having a lot of energy, having ADD or ADHD. And if we were to start to focus on things we're really passionate about, and if we were to relabel it and we were just to focus on grounding our energy, then all of this would begin to change. But the truth is, right now on the planet is the most important time to be alive than ever before, because more people are going to wake up in this lifetime than ever. We have more of this ability for us to wake up. And many people are in a deep sleep. They're just walking around kind of sleepwalking. They're like, And then you get people like, that are awake that are like, okay, this is what we're going to do. People that are awake in general. If you're watching this video, you're one of those people that are awake because you can only perceive that which you are the vibration of. And you're helping other people to wake up as well. To more of their starseed self. Understand they are multidimensional. Understand that this is a form of dream that we're becoming more lucid in. And as I go like this is my way of showing, we need a dream. We need a dream. It's a fun dream. We can enjoy the dream. But the more loose you make it, the more you enjoy it. That simple. So enjoy yourself. Allow this dream to be what it is. Understanding your multidimensional nature. You are a starseed. If you have ADHD, if you know someone with ADHD or ADD, then understand that you can more so accept them. You can accept yourself. You can reframe it. You can ground yourself in a powerful way. You can know it's okay. You just simply have more of these DNA markers activated. However, don't get too attached to the label as well. Sometimes it may say, yes, this is who I am, and that may emphasize the spiritual ego. Everyone is in this process of waking up. We just have different ways of expressing it. So know that you're special, but everyone else is special in their own way as well, and move forward knowing that and embodying who you really are. So, if you would like a meditation that will help you to raise your vibrational frequency and to also ground it, one of the most powerful meditations I have is in the top of the description box below. Listen to it for 21 days. I think it'll change your life. Also, I'll be doing more live Q&As on Instagram, so if you haven't followed me on Instagram yet, you can see it right here. You can, I answer questions every single day, plus I post twice a day there as well. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the little notification gear so you can see the daily vids that I do. And other than that, as always, peace, much love, and namaste.